Hey everybody, this is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
And we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
The food, the music, the vibe. Kick off your summer at the Ohio Black Expo Riverfront Culture Fest. Get your Black History Month discount now for a limited time. Free tickets to the Ohio Black Expo. Yeah, free. February discount all month long. Celebrate Black excellence. Experience the African diaspora at its finest. Go to OhioBlackExpo.com for tickets, updates, and more. Tell your friends. Share with family. There's no other place to be Memorial Day weekend. Visit OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Strawberry fast. I'm thinking of like prostitution or something.
So off with yes, ek het jou net just like yeah, what are you talking about?
Is keeping a prostitute like those are different things. Who inspires me? Yes. Me. Yeah. They inspire me. Those people you mentioned, but everything they said I bring up.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this afternoon. It is February the 13th. Tomorrow will be Valentine's Day, so fellas, make sure you get something for your lady. I don't care if it's something small, get something, right? Don't get in the doghouse. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about Trump a little bit. You know, he's threatening 100% tariffs on BRICS nations, and also we're going to get into a conversation about why FBAs always talk about race, to the folks that could be listening, because I know you're listening. You listen to everything that we say and do. We can have blackity black back on top of it, you gonna watch it. You can have African on top of it, you gonna watch it. It don't matter what it is, you gonna watch it, right? We can be saying that we're not even discussing y'all, and you gonna be sitting in the front row listening. Just like people are complaining, think that that Hillman Talk University, and they complaining that they trying to infiltrate that. I'm like, what do you expect? They will not stay away from black folk. That's why when people talk about, some people get this idea, say, oh, we need to separate. You can't separate from them. You can't. Because wherever you think you're going to separate to in America, they're going to be coming right where you at. Even during Jim Crow, right? We wasn't supposed to be nowhere around them. Just go look it up. They were still coming over there where we at, right? Black Wall Street. Hey, black folks supposed to go over there. Don't supposed to be around the folks at all. What happened? They still going over there with them. So if you're in the continental United States, no matter what piece of land you get, they gonna come, right? You can say, well, I moved to the continent of Africa. They're gonna come over there with you. There's gonna be more of them on the plane going to Africa with you than any black folk. You think you gonna go to the Caribbean? Nope, they're coming over there with you. Like I've learned that a long time ago. They cannot stay away from us. They can't. They'll have all this anti-black racism, but at the same time, they're going to go be laid up. I remember the first time I really seen that was in Kenya. Because, for years, we was always told, go back to Africa, go back to Africa, go back to Africa. Okay. So then FBAs start visiting the African continent. I'll never forget this one brother on the Kenya trip. I don't know, it was the second Kenya trip. Or maybe it was, I don't know, one of them. So we went to Mombasa, and in Mombasa, the brother came up to me. He said, Phil, come here. I said, what's up? Because I wasn't paying attention. He said, man, look out there. Just look. And the folks was all laid out there in Mombasa, laid out, vacationing, bringing their whole family to Kenya. But they'll tell me and you that all kind of anti-black racism speech and policies or whatever, but they go vacation in the African continent. And I just never forget, even my first trip to Ethiopia, I looked on the plane and it was full of the folks. Some of us was in there, some Chinese, whatever, but we talking about the folks, right? And so, they not going to stay away. So that's why I say the folks who will be listening, this conversation will be right up your alley tonight. I'm going to give you a good explanation why FBAs can't stop talking about race, okay? So that's that. Yeah, they listen to Minister Farrakhan too. Oh yeah, they'll say they can't stand the minister, but every time the minister speak, they know every word he said. Every word. Because they will be sitting there quicker than black folks will be sitting there. If you're a black person and you got some juice to you, they gonna be there. If you got a restaurant, they're gonna be there. If you got a music, they're gonna listen. Like, they have, what I've learned over the years, they have this extreme hate, really like, I won't say love, really like relationship with black folks. Definitely with FBAs. I would say that much. Definitely with FBAs. Okay? But we'll get to a little bit more of that tonight. You say you was in a grocery store talking on the phone. I noticed that some of the folks stood trying. Oh yeah, they love the ear hustle. Oh yeah. They be ear hustling. Especially with sometimes I'm talking with some of my team, but I'm not talking about nothing. I gotta hold my phone because sometimes I'm shopping. So I'm on the phone. I could be talking to, I think like today I was talking with Effie about, we were talking about some stuff with Slay Queen, whatever, maybe trying to get some of that stuff lined up in Nigeria. And, so I'm just talking, listening what Effie has to say about getting some stuff set up, right? Trying to get all this stuff set up, get the pieces laid in order. And yeah, they be looking, you know, especially when you're talking to a black person that got an accent, they really be looking like, huh? And they hear you talking like, how in the world are they talking to them? They be all curious of how we talking to other black folks that got accents, right? You know, they don't say nothing, but they be just looking. So yeah, I know. But like I said, I'm not saying nothing that nobody can't hear at the moment when I'm shopping. So if it's something important, I'll get off, you know, and put it to my ear. But anyway, well, shout out to everybody coming on in. I know, and listen to the folks. I ain't got nothing against nobody. I really don't. My thing is, and I'm not saying all the folks are that way. I'm not going to say that because that's not true. Nobody's all one way. But from my experience, that is a minority of their community, just from my experience. There's a minority that are good people that are not anti-black, racist, or anything like that. The other ones, from what I've seen in my life experience, you're either going to have the upfront anti-black racist, you're going to have the passive-aggressive anti-black racist, which more of them be more passive-aggressive, and then you're going to have some that's going to say they're not anti-black racist, but they're quiet when anti-black racism is going on because they don't want to lose the benefits of white supremacy, right? They may even not agree with it, but they're not going to say anything, right? They're still going to side with them because they don't want to be on the outs with their particular community. And part of their community and the culture is anti-black racism, okay? It's a culture. It's not, I always say now, it's not even about color. It's about culture. Culture is what it is. You listen, you don't pass color down to your children. You pass culture. So when you have people that's constantly passing culture down to have anti-black racism, it is cultural. It is all over the world in their particular group. It's the culture of anti-black racism. It don't matter what country you go to, the culture is there, okay? You don't believe me? Just travel. Just live life a little bit, and you will see, right? That's what it is. All right. Yeah, they're going to stay on code. Gary knows. They're going to stay on code, and that's just really what it is. They will stay on code. That's very, very important. Now, see, I wasn't even going to go on that diatribe just yet, but hey, it is what it is. But why I got your attention, make sure to take advantage of the promo for Black History Month, right? Even though we know that many places are removing Black History Month, and I'm okay with that. Remove it, because it's supposed to be Black History Month, our month. We don't need no corporate entity to celebrate our month. We celebrate our own month because it's our month, right? We don't need the public school system to teach Black history because they don't teach it right anyway. So Black History Month, we have our promo on the app, right? So take advantage of that. After Black History Month, it's gone. It's it. 20% off of the annual membership. I thank everyone who has joined today and last night. We always say we like to get 10 people to join. We'd love to get 10 annual people to join and take advantage of this, or definitely we'd love 10 lifetime people to join, because you can join for lifetime, right? And at the lifetime price, you won't have to worry about it no more. You're done, you know, and for the lifetime of everything that we do, you will have access to the app and many other things that's coming up as well. All right, so because I kind of chopped up a little time speaking about this, let's go ahead and get into the main subject matter, you know, and make sure tomorrow night, but I'm going to do it just an hour earlier, right? So at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m., and I'm going to put a post on the YouTube thing. We're going to do our Friday stream because I can't do it at 7 because I got to get ready to, you know, the Valentine's, everything with my Valentine, right? So 6 p.m., we'll do the Friday stream on the app. Make sure you're on the African Diaspora News Channel app so you can see that tomorrow night. Don't miss out. We having good conversations on the app, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start off with Trump. Let's start off with him. So Trump today, you know, I want you to check out what he said about BRICS, and we want to talk about just BRICS a little bit, why it got formed, and Trump think, you know, he can just, you know, be gangster on everybody, right? So let's go ahead and get Trump up on the screen. Let's see here. Let's see Trump.
I don't care, but BRICS was put there for a bad purpose, and most of those people they don't even want to talk about it now. They're afraid to talk about it because I told them if they want to play games with the dollar, then they're going to be hit with a 100% tariff the day they mention that they want to do it. And they will come back and say, we beg you not to do this. BRICS is dead since I mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that. And I remember when Obama and Biden in particular, I guess he said that, they have us over a barrel. They don't have us over a barrel. We have them over a barrel.
All right. So as you heard Trump saying that BRICS is dead. That's not true. Just because Trump said it doesn't mean it happened. But now a lot of countries will definitely want access to the U.S. market because even though we're not the most populated country in the world, I mean, we still have a lot of people here. We don't have the population of China or India. Let's just say that, right? But the U.S. market, we spend a lot of money, capitalism, and we are literally bred to be capitalists in this country. Our whole system is about spending our money. If you go back and remember COVID, they would say what? Everybody was staying in the house, not spending their money. So that's why everything just went down and crashed and everything that happened, all the prices shot down because this system needs you to constantly spend money, right? And that's just everybody. That's everybody. To me, capitalism is not really a good system because most of America works on predatory capitalism, more so than maybe a standard capitalism or whatever. And in capitalism, you're going to have definitely a small group of people controlling everything, and you know who those people are. But what was the reasoning why they even created BRICS? If we want to go there. Well, the reason why BRICS was created was because of the United States. The United States has a habit of, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to put some economic sanctions on you, right? And these economic sanctions, you may say, well, why everybody listen to America? Well, this is what it is. So in order for your credit card payments to go through in the world is ran on the SWIFT system. And on the SWIFT system, if your country is removed from the SWIFT system, nobody can really pay you through any kind of credit card on the SWIFT system because that's a global system. So once you get removed from the SWIFT system, when people travel to the country, let's say like Americans, they can't really use their credit cards. They can't do anything. When they have economic sanctions, you can't send money to that country through your bank. Now, maybe you can do it on a World Remit or SendWave or them kind of things like that, right? If you can. But, no, you can send money to countries that's sanctioned like Zimbabwe on certain apps, right? Because, yeah, I know you can because in the past, we had people that, that did some content here and from Zimbabwe and we paid them, that way. But just like selecting Zimbabwe as directly from an American bank to Zimbabwe, no, that just will not happen. So it affects you all the way around. If any country, the way the United States does their sanctions, if any country work with you, right, then they say, oh, well, that country is helping you evade sanctions, so we're going to sanction them too, right? If anybody gives you some sort of loan or whatever, they're going to get sanctioned as well. You understand? So it's a very bullying and predatory way. But who is this one country? Just let's look at the grand scheme of things. We have 190 plus countries throughout the world. Why this one country, our country, can tell anybody throughout the world, another sovereign country, what to do? That's no different than like you own a home and somebody in another state can tell you what to do in your house. And if you don't do what they say in your house, then they're going to fix it where, all your lights get cut off, your water get cut off, everything. You can't get cable, you can't get internet, you can't get nothing at your house because they said you didn't do what they told you to do. Now, most people think like, what the hell is that? Well, that's like equivalent to that. And if somebody try to help you with lights, if somebody try to help you with some food, if they want to help you, in that situation, then, they're going to do it to them too, right? Now, most people say that's wrong. Most people say that. You look at Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe got sanctioned because how dare Robert Mugabe at the time took their land back from 4,000 white farmers. 4,000 of them. They took the land back. And for 4,000 white folks, they've been sanctioned ever since Mugabe is dead and gone, okay? And they still have, the United States and the EU still have sanctions on Zimbabwe. Because anytime, if you notice in history with these people, Haiti got their freedom from the French, the white folk, and they have been making Haiti suffer ever since. Zimbabwe got their land back from the folks. They've been making them suffer ever since. They even tried to pay them folks money. Like say, look, we'll give them money just to get the sanctions off. They still haven't taken the sanctions off. And what's despicable, that Barack Hussein Obama, he was in there 8 years and he didn't even remove the sanctions off of Zimbabwe. He kept renewing the sanctions on Zimbabwe, right? So what kind of so-called black he was, well, we know he wasn't black because FBA, if they had an FBA president was like, man, come on, man. We ain't gonna do that to them people. Come on, I'm getting rid of that today. And the president could end the sanctions today if he wants to. Obama didn't even do it, right? So all these countries got together and said, okay, we got to work together because who is this one country to tell all of us what to do? Like, we not no punks. So that's when the original people got together, Brazil, Russia, India, China, then South Africa was added. Jacob Zuma, former President Jacob Zuma is the reason why South Africa got in BRICS. So it was just mostly those countries, right? Then later, other countries start being added. They've been adding more and more countries to BRICS. So if you look at the countries that's in BRICS, it's most so inclusive. You got Latino countries, Arab countries in BRICS now, African countries. You know, of course, you got, you know, I say China is an Asian country. You got Russia. You know, that's, white Russians, right? But it's actually inclusive, the Democrats' word, that they are actually inclusive. But the old world order is, no, the United States and the European powers dominate the world, and the rest of you better fall in line. So BRICS is more so for them a threat to their global domination. And because BRICS been saying we need to come up with a currency to trade among ourselves and up in the dollar, because we're tired of the U.S. dollar dominating all our countries and our currencies. This is more so what Trump is talking about. He's talking about playing with the dollar. That's what he means. Like they actively are trying to figure out ways where they don't have to trade in U.S. dollar, coming up with their own currency, all of that. You remember Muammar Gaddafi. He wanted to have a currency on the African continent. He wanted a gold dinar and made out of gold and not this fiat currency that's out here with the USD. And because Muammar Gaddafi wanted to have a fiat currency, that would have literally bankrupt the Western world overnight if he would have pulled that off. That's why they had to lie on this man, say he was harming his own people. They let terrorists run over and take the life of that man. Muammar Gaddafi was trying to send $5 million. You can go look this up. He was trying to send $5 million to the minister to help FBAs. He was like, look, man, you doing good work. I want to send this $5 million over here to help FBAs in the community. Well, the United States government blocked the transaction from Muammar Gaddafi to send to the minister to help FBAs. Then the minister talked about this. He said Muammar Gaddafi called and said, hey, well, send one of your sons or send some representative to come to Libya. We'll give you the money and then bring it on back. And like the minister's like, nah, it's going to be, it's going to be too many problems to do that. I appreciate it. It's going to be way too many. You know what I'm saying? Like blocking, I'm like, he wasn't giving them money for no terrorism. He was giving them money to help FBAs, right? I mean, how many African leaders have you heard do that? Want to give money to help FBAs right here in America? So, but the funny part is, speaking about FBAs, there's one sister on TikTok. I saw a video recently, and she was saying, "Hey, China, if you really want to make them people mad in America, start financially supporting FBAs. Watch what happens. Support our businesses. Help us do different things here in America to be self-sufficient and partner with us, and watch how they act." I'm like, oh yeah, boy. They'll be making a big deal about that if the Chinese start helping FBAs financially. Oh shoot, man, they'll come up with some new laws real quick, man. Yeah. You're right. Say the minister didn't want to risk Gaddafi's life, but hey, Barack Obama, he had a hand in that. Cause Barack Obama could have called that off. He could have said, nah, don't do that. Leave that man alone. We'll work out something. with diplomacy or something like that. We're not going to do this. And look at Libya. Libya has been a hellhole. It has been in utter hell ever since. Now, Trump or nobody's talking about Libya, but you talking about Ukraine and Russia. He only talking about that, just keeping it 100. He being on code. He's seeing their people, constantly dying in a war, and he know good and well that they already struggling. They got struggle birth rates. He knows that. So he can't be affording them to keep doing that, right? So there you go. Oh, yeah, Danielle, they will go crazy. They will be trying to charge FBAs with not registering as foreign agents. They'll be trying to say that FBAs are being spies for the CCP. Oh, man, they'll be having all kind of things they'll say about FBAs. They know that FBAs was being funded, by Chinese in any kind of way. So, listen, if the Chinese was, let's say some sisters wanted a big conglomerate of braid shops, and the Chinese was like, okay, only thing I ask you, just, maybe you can, the Chinese New Year, if you can celebrate, or maybe you can have the menu in English and Mandarin, and, a couple of things, just give us some concessions, but hey, we'll help fund it. Man, them folks will be so hot, they find that mess out. Man, I'm telling you, they don't want nobody helping us. Because they already know Africa. Let's call it what it is. African countries not going to do it. I'm just going to keep it 100. I haven't seen one yet, but they only help their own people. So let me not say that like they help their own. A lot of them don't help their own. Now, let's get to the next thing I wanted to talk about. This goes into the second part. I want to deal with it, kind of chew on a little bit. Why FBAs always talking about race? Okay. We're going to get into talking about a subject that I don't get into too much, but this is the subject I'm more passionate about, be honest with you. So let me play this video from CNBC. And any of you know about CNBC, that's more so the investment money platform, right? This is a video from 2022. And now this is about race, okay? But I want y'all to listen to this.
Reached a record $1.6 trillion in 2021. The ability to buy, save, and invest more than doubling since 2000. That growth exceeding the full U.S. economy, but actually lagging other ethnic groups. Latinos with a 288% increase. Asians with a 388% increase in spending power. However, other groups, they've also seen an increase in their net worth. Black Americans instead have seen their wealth actually fall by 14%. And with the S&P gaining 27% last year, the value of U.S. homes increasing by 31% last year. Many black leaders are asking the black community to really rethink how it spends.
Save money to purchase the most important asset you'll probably ever own, and that's your home. And that to me is equally important. As I said, I'd put it right up there with arguing or campaigning for or supporting voting rights.
I would love to see us spend more money in the stock market. Instead of buying the hottest new thing, buy the stock of the hottest new thing. And that's something that you can also pass down generation to generation.
Home ownership is typically the biggest wealth builder in the black community. That's actually fallen more than 3% since 2000. And annually, black families accumulate $300 billion less in wealth than white families, and they save $75 billion less. The racial wealth gap now at more than $11 trillion. Back over to you.
All right. So you heard them say that the racial wealth gap is $11 trillion. So if you ever talk about reparations, then trust me, these people know how much the racial wealth gap is. In order to close it, reparations would have to be $11 trillion. And that's at that time. Now, they said, black folks, you're spending $1.6 trillion, but your overall net worth as a community was down 14%. Now, that means this. You're getting money. And notice, they didn't say we were lazy. You notice that? Nobody accused us of being lazy. You can't make 1.6 trillion being lazy. Lazy people make zero. The lazy thing really got started after slavery because we weren't working for free anymore. We have to say, no, if you pay me, they start calling us lazy. That's when we became lazy because we want to be paid. But when we was working for free, we were never lazy. And even if someone is lazy, what they got to do with me or you if someone's lazy? Matter of fact, I love lazy people. Shout out to the lazy people of the earth. I love lazy men. The reason why I love lazy men because that's one man I don't have to compete with. That's one man I don't have to try to taking resources or whatever away from what I'm trying to do. So I love lazy men and women. I love y'all. God bless the lazy. Because I don't like people in my way anyway. So when you're speaking about race, why are we talking about race? Well, why shouldn't we when we are making 1.6 trillion and yet the other side has $11 trillion surplus over us and it keeps growing more and more and more that we would never catch up with. Now, with all this stuff with Doge, y'all been seeing, right? Let's go ahead on and get something up on the screen real quick. Long time ago, I told y'all that when it comes to reparations, I told y'all that reparations, when they talking about not paying reparations because, oh, you don't need it and this and that and the third. Well, this is the Doge tracker site. Now, they've been going through the Department of Education as of recently. Now, when I told you they didn't want to pay reparations due to anti-black racism, not money, so many people been getting broke off from the United States government, but they told you and me they don't have money to be paying reparations anyway, right? So if you go look at, let's start going up with the Department of Education. Well, they updated this. So the Trump administration federal buyout program, $37.5 billion because the judge say it's cool, is good to go. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services contract, $182 million. These are millions, folks. It's not hundred thousands. A Department of Education DEI training grant, $15 million. These grants are awarded to different private business and companies, and we know that black FBAs, we are only getting 3 to 4% of government contracts. The majority of the contracts are going to the folks. This is why they stay ahead of us. Look at this. Wasteful contracts for 35 agencies, $250 million. National Institutes of Health Research Administrative Overhead, $4 billion with a B. 29 Department of Education DEI grants terminated, which that goes to private companies, $101 million. 89 Department of Education contract terminated. They got $881 million back. They terminated some from the Department of Agriculture. Empowering LGBTQIA refugees in Greece, $25,000. They canceled a lot of media, DEI, and consulting. And then most of this goes to private companies. Like when I said about private companies, the New York Times, a private company, but they was getting $1.6 million a year in subscription cancellations. Or Associated Press was getting $20 million, right? Politico with NASA, $500,000. See what I'm saying? They have one up here that canceled the EPA media and DEI contract cancellation. You look at these are in the millions, $45 million. Department of Education contract to coordinate Zoom and in-person meetings. Like really? $4.6 million for that. Contract to write a report that showed that prior reports were not utilized by schools. $3 million. Contract to physically observe mailing and clerical operations. $1.4 million. EPA Environmental Justice Grant to the Climate Justice Alliance canceled, $50 million. See these companies that get all this money, the Climate Justice Alliance, Department of Education grants to 4 Equity Assistance Centers, $33 million. So what I'm saying is, by showing you this, ladies and gentlemen, is these people have the money to pay reparations. They just don't because of anti-black racism. Not because they don't have the money to do so. And these people know based on your spending habits, right? They know as soon as you get it, you spend it. They know this. And they know if you were to get reparations, you would probably, a lot of people just give it right back to them in the area of spending. Some people won't. Some people will take the money, grow their businesses, do whatever the case may be, right? But they don't want you to have it because they want to keep that $11 trillion wealth gap ahead, so you never can catch up. To me, I don't care about somebody calling me a name. I care more about economics, because with economics, you can grow your family, you can grow your business, you can have a better quality of life, you can invest, you can have vacation, you can put your kids through school if you like. You can do what you want to do through economics, money. Dr. Claude Anderson had preached economics to us forever, and a lot of us just did not listen to him. When he mentioned about illegal immigration, he said them migrants are coming to compete with you, and they're not your friend, and everything about the migrants is economics. What did the Biden administration do? He gave them money, economics. All that money that was going to those migrants. What that lady did with the FEMA, sending $59 million to the hotels. For who? The migrants. These people have money to pay reparations. And what's being exposed is the Democrats. This, to me, makes the Democrats look worse because they claim they are our friends. They understand our struggle, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they so quick to call somebody a Nazi and everything else. But when they in power, black folks not getting a freaking thing. The Boulay may get a little bit. You know, listen, the little money Boulay Martin got, the little money Al Sharpton got, is pennies compared to what all these white folks are getting. I'm hearing about these charities, the Catholic charities getting millions of dollars. Some of them getting billions of dollars. Everybody getting money off this government. But let a sister need some Section 8 and some food stamps. Oh my God. That's the worst thing ever, for a sister to get Section 8 and some food stamps. When these people getting money in the millions and billions. Listen, I don't want to ever hear nobody complain about no black folk getting no food stamps or Section 8 when all this stuff been going on in the millions and billions about what these folks are getting. Listen, these folks believe in welfare. They just don't want you to get it. And the welfare you're getting is pennies. That's what you're getting. You're getting pennies. You're not getting the millions. Elon Musk himself has federal contracts. Everybody getting money from the government, but the moment you do it, oh my God, them black people just lazy. Now, let me maybe you saw this before, but let me put you in remembrance of something else while we keep talking about race. And remember, for me, it's more about economics. Racism has cost the U.S. $16 trillion. Now, that was by Citigroup. Citigroup, one of the big banks. So they say America could have been $16 trillion richer if not for inequities in education, housing, wages, and business investment between black and white Americans over the past 20 years. The study released, this week by the Citigroup, is the latest in a body of research that attempts to quantify the economic impact of systemic racism. Yes, we're going to continue to talk about race because we're financially impacted by it. Racism harms us financially. Why aren't we going to talk about it? Citigroup arrived at a 16 trillion figure after estimating that black workers, those of us who work every day, have lost $113 billion with a B, y'all, in potential wages over the past 2 decades because they couldn't get a college degree. $113 billion in our community could went a long way. The housing market, which we don't own, but the housing market lost $218 billion in sales because black applicants couldn't get home loans. Think about that. Anti-black racism harms America. And yet they're still so invested in it. The reason why they're $36 trillion in debt is because of anti-black racism. They could be $36 trillion surplus if they wouldn't be so anti-black racist. Hence to why we got to talk about racism. About $13 trillion in business revenue never flowed into the economy because black entrepreneurs couldn't access bank loans. Repeat that again. $13 trillion in business revenue never flowed into the economy because black entrepreneurs couldn't access bank loans. And let me tell y'all about that real quick. Let me get back on the screen. It is hard, and I know verbatim, it is hard for black entrepreneurs to get business loans, home loans. They give you a car loan, though. Oh, they give black people a car loan all day long. They have no problem giving you a car loan. But when it's time for you to go get a house, when it's time for you trying to get a loan to go expand your business, right? Say, okay, I need some capital to expand my business. So let me see if I can get this loan. They put you through so many different things. You can go through the SBA. Okay, you go through your bank with the SBA 7A loan, or maybe on time is a little easier. Maybe on disaster loans, but it's not really the normal one you're getting. You want the regular 7A loan, right? Oh, you got to have so much. You got to have personal returns, business returns. You got to have a 700 credit score. You got to have. It's so many different things they throw at you. Not to say that people don't get the loan, but it's just not an easy and streamlined process. And we know the banks, it's been proven, the banks have been very discriminatory against black borrowers. Even if they got everything I'm discussing, like they got all the requirements. It's been proven that they have denied homes to black people with all the requirements and business loans. And because of that, you have predatory loans who are out there giving money to small businesses. Predatory loans, okay? These predatory loans, man, they give you the money like a day or two. But the terms are so bad. They want you to pay them back once a week. That's how they want. They want weekly payments. Not monthly, weekly. And the interest is skyrocket. But sometimes people get caught in that because you need the money, but you don't got time to even go through all this BS process. So that's what creates the not only the predatory small business lenders, even on the smaller scale, the predatory payday loans and all them pawn shops and all these things that's more so predatory. And a lot of black people suffer with that. Why? Because we can't get the funding we need because of anti-black racism. Okay. Now let me pick something up real quick, and I'll talk about myself here for a minute. It'll say what's more. It's the U.S. could have $5 trillion in gross domestic product (GDP) over the next 5 years if those gaps and others were closed today. It's a racial inequality has always had outsized cost. It's a one that was thought to be paid only by underrepresented groups. It's a Citigroup banking chair Raymond McGuire said in a statement, what this report underscores is that this tariff is levied on us all. It said the Federal Reserve data showed the white households net worth grew 43% to $61,200 between 1995 and 2016, while it remained flat at $35,400 for black families. That's not a natural occurrence. That is not natural. That is done by design. Said Moody's Investor Service found that 44% of black households owned their homes in 2019 compared to 74% of white households. So basically the majority of black people rent. They don't even own. That's a lot of the issue. It said the study highlights the real cost of longstanding discrimination against minority groups, especially against black people, and particularly in the U.S. Of course, it talked about the McKinsey study releases for how these and other inequities have reduced the nation's wealth. So all this harms America. All of this. But they don't care. Listen, they are so dedicated to anti-black racism. They rather America be in debt and suffer than to see black people. But we know that's the history of this country. We don't have universal health care because when they were telling them about it, say, hey, is black people gonna get it? Well, yeah, we gotta give it to everybody. Oh no. I'd rather be sick and die before I see a black person have universal health care. That's how dedicated they are. Now, realistically speaking, and many of you probably that has businesses or stuff like that, you just know, I could be 10 times ahead, maybe even 20 times ahead right now if I was a straight white male. I'll be 20 times ahead because I would have the privilege to do that. Because when you got the privilege, then you get the bank loans, you get the home loans, you get the benefit of the doubt, all that stuff that comes with, being Caucasian, right? As a black person, you have to work harder, you have to be smarter, you have to take the little bit that you have, then you got to navigate. You got to navigate the hard that's been done to our community, and they have worked so hard in our community that we have a lot of self-hate in our community. We do. We're jealous of each other when we shouldn't be jealous of each other at all. 'Cause we all in the same position collectively. We still dealing with the trauma of Jim Crow slavery. We're still dealing with that trauma. We're still dealing with it. It's not over with. The only way you can get rid of that, you have to literally close that racial wealth gap and put us where we need to be. And they're not invested in that. So you're going to still deal with that trauma even after all these years, right? Then they'll gaslight you the whole time and say, oh, well, you don't have nothing because you're lazy. You don't want to work. And we all know that's farthest from the truth. We all work hard, right? As Black Americans. Some of the hardest people I know work hard. These other groups talking about, we work hard, we do this, we do that. But yet you didn't work hard in your own homeland? That's the only question I always have for them. Like, if you're such a hard worker, why you didn't work back where you come from? We build your houses, we do this and that. Why you didn't build your houses in your homeland? So that's why I don't even want to hear them talk about hard work. Black people are very, very hard working. I know you are. Now laziness is in every community, but Black people are very hard working, and they don't get the promotions they're supposed to get. They don't get the raises they're supposed to get. They don't get the chance in business. In certain ways, you got to play the game in business. Sure, I get that. Now, but I will say, the only place I've ever felt that I could do things a lot quicker and more efficient, just for me, in my experience, is doing business in the African continent. Yes, there's a lot of risks of doing it over there, but you can get a whole lot more done, a lot efficient than you can do here, because here we are at a disadvantage as FBAs. These folks run this system. No matter what you say, they run it. And because they run it, they're always trying to sabotage us. No matter what you do in this country, you can go buy 100 acres of land today and try to go set up a whole little community. They're going to still try to figure out how to finesse you out that. They're going to try to say, oh, no. Them FBAs, they getting way too, oh, no. Let's run a railroad through that area. Let's go take that from them and say eminent domain. You understand? Oh, FBAs, you can't have that land no more because we got to run some oil pipelines through there. Them people dirty. They'll go run an oil pipeline or a railroad right through your area to take it from you. Yeah, they give you the money, but forget the money. The fact is, your land is going to be worth more with time than the money they give you right then and there. But that's how these people get down. Like that Black family in Georgia right now that's fighting for their 600 acres of land that the judge said, oh, yep, a railroad can go through the land, so yep, they can take the land, eminent domain. That's the stuff I'm talking about. At least from what I've found out, at least in other countries, if you get land, you pay for it. Of course, you do it through the right means. We're not talking about giving money to a scammer. You have to worry about property taxes. It's your land. If you're coming there setting up businesses, hiring the locals, people appreciate you for it. That's the only thing I'm saying. Just a difference what I say. I understand you can make a lot of money in America. Oh, yes, you can. But the fact is, this country has a anti-Black racism as the law of the land. And it don't matter. See, one thing I don't like what people do, y'all see Trump and them with all that racism? Okay, why didn't it get better for us under Obama? Why didn't all these anti-Black racist policies didn't go away under Obama? He was in there for 8 years. He didn't make it go away. He had 2 full terms. And when he first got in there, he had the House and the Senate. He didn't make nothing go away for Black folk. He kept the status quo going of anti-Black racism the whole 8 years. Then, okay, Trump got in. Okay, now Biden gets in. Remember, they supposed to be our friends, the Democrats. Biden gets in. And Biden doesn't do anything either. He had Kamala sitting up there. Didn't do anything. Kept the status quo of anti-Black racism and financial policies that harm FBAs. So when people talk about, Trump, you look at the MAGA, and they're like, no. What about the Democrats? We've been giving all our votes to Democrats. Not the Republicans, the Democrats. And the Democrats haven't done crap to alleviate these policies. Haven't done nothing. But Barack Obama sure did DACA. He did that. Now, Cynthia over here says FBAs are time to stand on strictly 100 business. It's for the future of our own black generational wealth. And let me tell y'all something else about that. Like the piece that said earlier on CNBC, y'all gotta really deal with your self-esteem, because a lot of FBA spending is related to self-esteem. Some of y'all will go buy a Mercedes-Benz because, I got this Mercedes. You get all the looks in some people in the community. A guy get a Mercedes, a woman get a Mercedes. That's the epitome of luxury, and it's just a car. But then you do the research of the top brands that last you the longest, and Mercedes-Benz is not even in the bunch. Not even in the bunch. Not Mercedes. You can go listen to mechanics on TikTok talk about Mercedes and say, yeah, that car may last you up to 100,000 before you have a lot of problems. You know the top two vehicles I researched that last you the longest? Toyota, 250 to 300,000 miles. Honda, 250,000 miles plus. That's the top two. Number 3, Lexus. That's still a Toyota deal. So, but let's say affordability, just a Toyota or a Honda. But we got black folks driving G-Wagons. Why did you buy the G-Wagon? For what? Is it going to last? What are you going to do with it? We're going to spend money on all these clothes and shoes, and you always got to look good. I'm not saying don't look presentable, but some of you go blow money on so many different things. Remember, if you got 1.6 trillion, then it's like my grandfather said, your money be in your hand like it's on fire. That's how you spend your money. And what he meant by that is, if something's on fire, you try to hurry up and get it out your hand because it's on fire, it's burning you. So your money is burning your hand. So you so quickly just to give it to whoever. You go spend money on restaurants. You pride yourself on spending money on restaurants. You pride yourself spending money on certain trips that you probably can't even afford. And then we have no savings as a people. We have no savings. We don't have nothing to pass our kids. Then our kids trying to bury us when we die because we just tricked off all our money. We didn't even save no money or get an insurance policy. They even put us in the ground. Our kids are trying to ask people can you donate something because my daddy died or my mama died. That sort of thing. We got to get better at that, man. We got to stop tricking off our money so much. Because we don't have nothing as a people, but listen, what if we took half of that 1.6 trillion, saved it? Saved that money. Like during COVID, y'all saved a lot of money during COVID. Y'all really did. And the folks in the corporations was like just itching for y'all to get back outside. That personally, I said this. I wanted the lockdowns to last another 6 months. I think things would have really been better if we'd have been locked down at least for 1 good year. Because black folks had a lot of money. They wasn't spending it. The women wasn't going to the nail shops and the hair, not going to the clubs, not wasting money on alcohol. People wasn't just doing a lot of just frivolous spending. They was actually saving that money. And they was stacking a lot of bread. And during the pandemic, black folks were creating so many businesses during the pandemic. And I'm like, bro, why are they letting people back outside again? Man, let people stay inside just for 6 more months and then let them outside, right? Man, black folks, that'd have been great for us. It actually was great for us to lock down because you didn't see no police brutality cases because black folks was nowhere around the police. They couldn't listen. That was the only time that we were truly, you mentioned, separated from the folks. Because we were nowhere around, and they didn't like that. They did not. If you remember back in that time, they were even talking about it. Like, we don't see black people. Yeah, why are you looking for us for? Because we were literally just staying in our house. I wish we kind of go back to that. We just chill in our house, do our thing, save our money, man. But it don't make no sense that we getting 1.6 trillion, but we broke. It's because we giving it up. Nobody's robbing us for it. Yeah, Jonathan said collective economics. Yes, collective economics. He said, Fast I'd like to change my username on the app, having trouble getting it done. You need to go through on the website. They have a contact tab and select technical and write it up. Then it goes directly to them that way. And that's the best way to do it. But anyway, this year, when you get vehicles, some of y'all want these Range Rovers, piece of trash vehicle. We got AI now. We got ChatGPT. We got DeepSeek. I use AI all the time to do a lot of research. I love the research through the AI. I love it. And it gives me so much pertinent information that Google can't even give me. Like Google to me is obsolete at this point, especially with AI now. It's just so obsolete. Find out. Do some research. Find out about, even if you're trying to save certain amounts of money, you can ask the AI questions about that, how to do it or whatever, how to appropriate it, how to save a certain amount of money, how to, certain projections for your business. You can ask the AI about that too. You can double check the AI, make sure AI is correct. I would say do that. But yeah, take advantage of the modern technology that could help us out. The interest, I'm gonna tell y'all something I did on the AI. I thought that was the most interesting thing. So I asked, based on Dr. Martin Luther King's ideology, how would he view modern America today? And the way it responded, I was like, wow, it makes a lot of sense. So basically what he was saying is Dr. King would be happy about the progress we've had, that we made a lot of progress since he's passed away, but he would be mortified about the racial wealth gap even bigger than what it was when he was alive. He wouldn't like some of the degeneracy that's in our society that was not there when he was alive. And so he would be disappointed about that. He would still not like the fact that we didn't get our check, that part, that we still struggling. He'd say the mass incarceration he would be shocked about because we wasn't mass incarcerated like that during his lifetime. It was so many things he was breaking down about how Dr. King would be more mortified about today than it was when he was alive. And I said, man, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of things has happened after he died. That's been horrible for FBAs. Horrible. And how we got mass incarcerated is because of the Democrats. But every time you bring that up, and let me finish. I'm gonna finish this off because I'm running out of time. The Democrats has done us so wrong, but if you speak against the Democrats, then me and others must be paid by the far right or Republicans. That's the only response to it. Not that you're wrong, not that it didn't happen, not that everything you're saying is just, no, because this is the right information. No. It's never that. It's you being paid. Okay. If you was brought into a court of law and you tell a judge, okay, judge, this person accused me of being paid by far-right groups, Republicans, or Trump himself, that's a lie. What evidence do they have, Your Honor? And tell them to prove it. And then in the court of law, they would say, okay, well, if Phil being paid, what evidence do you have? Like, what evidence? How is he paid? Who paid him? How much they paid him? What would be the reason? What would be the terms of the agreement, right? And if they did pay him, what was it for? A good of service? What was it for advocacy? What is it? Like, what was he actually paid for? Was he paid for advertising? Was he paid for consulting? What was he paid for if he was paid? And these people say that, but if they was actually put on the spot in the court of law, for instance, they couldn't answer it because there's no way to prove anything. Because I always tell people this: if you think I'm ever paid by Trump, go to his FEC report. He got a report like Kamala was paying everybody, and you find out because of her FEC report on FEC.gov. You go look at Trump's too. You can see everybody that was paid. I always tell people that. Go check it out. No, I'll talk about the Democrats for free because of the evil they've done to my people. That's why I talk about them for free. Ain't nobody got to pay me. I have no problem talking about what they have done or what they have not done for FBAs. It was during my lifetime I saw the 1994 crime bill. I was a teenage kid during that time. And I seen a year later the mass incarceration of FBAs. Okay? I seen it. Like right now, they're doing the mass deportations of the immigrants, the illegal ones. I seen how 12 was run up in people's house and arresting everybody. Whole families getting arrested. And the Democrats was the reason it happened. It was the Democrats. It wasn't the Republicans. It was the Democrats. Joe Biden, he was the leader of that bill. Bill Clinton was the president at that time, and he signed it. So don't tell me nothing about Democrats. They ain't mass incarcerated nobody since then. Now, Shockwave True say Democrats found out to corrupt us through the Negro minister. If you can control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. It's true. Yeah, if you control a man, you control it all. You control his spending, control his speech. You control everything of that man or woman. I'm thanking God that some of the hold the Democrats I have are starting to loosen on Black Americans. I'm happy about that. But the work is still ongoing. The work is still ongoing. I had a person leave a comment. Phil, I used to really, I like how you was talking with lately. You've been talking about stuff with Trump. Okay, I'm talking about stuff with Trump. What am I saying actually? What am I saying that's untrue? What am I saying that's, what am I saying? That's why I always ask the question, but no one can answer that. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not even a Republican. I'm politically independent. So I can talk about Trump. I can talk about Democrats. I can talk about whoever I want to do. Now, if you want to go to a pro-shield platform, there's plenty of shields you go listen to. Go listen to them and have at it. It's your right to do that. But over here, we don't coddle the Democrat Party because the Democrat Party is a party of anti-Black racism. So I'm not going to coddle that party. I'm not. It's just not going to happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. Really appreciate it. Make sure to join us tomorrow on the app, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the AD&C app. Make sure you download that in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you take advantage of the Black History Month promo, like I said, for the annual BH Month 20. Like I said, because we're coming up on almost 2 weeks to go and that promo will be over with. So jump on it now. We also, if you want, get a lifetime membership. Hey, you pay that one time and that's it. You're a lifetime member of everything we got going on. So definitely thank y'all for listening. We'll see you tomorrow on the AD&C app, 6